Hey guys, welcome to our channel. Um, Now we're going to attach to this video a link to a video we did explaining what we're doing. All right, and for those of you who watched that video, hopefully you're up to speed. We got another twist thrown in here today, because I had to start thinking like a quantum computer. Now I don't know, guys. These things could go on forever. This was supposed to be a very simple decode. All right. You had Creedence Clearwater Revival. Have you ever seen the rain? All right. That's what we've decided to decode today because it was pretty short, as it were.
It was supposed to be.
It was supposed to be pretty short, and I'm not sure where it's at now. Where did we find it even? Where was it? Have you ever seen the rain? It was right here by Billy Joel Piano Man. It was right in here. Yeah, right here. So, guys, the letters we got. We took at minute 23, all changed to Hall. I'll spare you the details. And at 2 minutes and 28 seconds, changed to the. So in order, you had to cross off these ALLs, and you were left with only an H. All right, so that went here. And A changed straight over to the, no letters canceled out, so you had A-T-H-E. H-A-T-H-E, that's what you had. All right, that was our extraction. This should have been simple, but it's not because we're dealing with quantum computers making calculations, and as we're learning, that gets tricky because we'll explain as we go. Now, H-A-T-H-E, we took H-A right off the bat, and we got a direct translation to there is in Portuguese. All right. Now, up until now, we were just taking that for what it was. But now, because I'm thinking like a quantum computer, trying to think like a quantum computer, obviously, I can't. But these things are going to layer their codes, so that's going to come into play. HA translates to there is in Portuguese. All right. Now we'll remember that. Then you're left with T, which is, we know, AT&T on the New York Stock Exchange, HE, which is Hawaiian Electric on the New York Stock Exchange, followed by E, the mathematical constant. All right? So right there you had somebody hardcore targeting stuff on the New York Stock Exchange and the mathematical constant E right behind all that. And that got you through forwards. All right? As you went backwards, all right, because a quantum computer would do that, and not only that, it would layer it. So I tried to, or it would rearrange the letters in other ways also, guys, in every way possible, and put every code possible in. That's what it would do. So since it was short, we decided to try it. So backwards, you had EH, which ends up being environmental health research. All right. So imagine that. That was the mathematical constant. I'll provide these links, guys. And Uncover EH. Uncover EH is a national research initiative between NEHA and the CDC. I should have looked up NEHA, guys, because they can hit that now. As soon as they hit that code, they can hit the NEHA and the CDC, which we know is Center for Disease Control, and Baylor University to learn more about environmental health. The environmental health profession through an online survey and in-person workshops of EH professionals working at public health departments. So once they hit that, they can hit all that, guys, and it goes on. But for the sake of time in this video, we're going to move on to TA, which translates directly to HE, he, from Chinese. All right. So we're going to remember that. That's going to come into play later because we're dealing with a quantum computer. And now we realize something, and we're going to show you what we figured out. So HE translates directly to TA translates directly to HE in Chinese. Then you're left with HT. All right. And that is Hersha Hospitality Trust on the New York Stock Exchange. And it goes right up in here with all this other stuff. Remember, the calculations are happening at the same time. That's quantum computer. And so then you got your New York Stock Exchange. Then you've got AH, which ended up being Advanced Higher Computing Science. So we've seen computing science hit before, right? Well, now you're seeing it hit again. Advanced Higher Computing Science. And they can hit a lot of things with that code. So then that took you to the end of going backwards. So then we decided to scramble the letters because a quantum computer would do that. All right. So I started by flipping around the H and the A, and you had HHA, which ended up being World Health Organization Harmonization for Health in Africa. All right. Now, what's interesting about that, guys? I'm going to tell you. The interesting thing about that is once they hit that, Harmonization for Health in Africa, HHA, is a collaborative initiative by AFDB, which ends up being, guys, which ends up being African Development Bank. It's a bank. The African Development Bank Group. Development is a multilateral development finance institution. So as soon as you hit the as soon as you hit the HHA, you can hit the World Health Organization. You can hit the African Developmental Bank. Another organization in there is GHWA. You can hit that. The Global Health Workforce Alliance completed its 10-year mandate on May 15th, 2016, and has transitioned into the Global Health Workforce Network. The network will operate within the World Health Organization. And you can hit anything within this, guys. And then you can also hit also within this is the JICA, which is Japanese International Corporation Agency. Is advancing its activities around the pillars of a field-oriented approach to human security and enhanced effectiveness, efficiency, and speed. So you can hit this. You can also hit NORAD, North American Aerospace Defense Command, and I'm providing links for all this, guys. From the HHA, you can hit NORAD. All right. You can also hit UNAIDS, which is a joint United Nations program on HIV/AIDS, leads and inspires the world to achieve its shared vision of zero new HIV infections. So there's that. Then you've got they can also hit UNFPA, which is United Nations Population Fund. All right. This is all from HHA, guys. They can hit UNICEF because that's an organization within the HHA, and UNICEF is the United Nations Children's Fund is a United Nations program headquarters in New York City that provides humanitarian and developmental assistance to children and mothers in developing countries. Yeah, I read that off Wikipedia. I didn't mean to, but I looked it up here on this other thing, unicef.org. That's basically what it's saying. But anyway, and then you can hit you said, which is United States Agency for International Development, a United States agency. Imagine that. Um, the world's largest, is the world's premier international development agency and catalytic actor driving development results. USAID's work advances U.S. national security and such. And the last thing involved in that is WB, which I looked up, and it turns out to be WEIBO Corp, Weibo Corp, on the NASDAQ. So you got another market company they can hit just from that HHA code itself. So they can hit all that just with this code, and I'm probably missing stuff that they can hit, all right? Now, after you move on from that, TE translates directly to T from Spanish, TEA, all right? And then also TE stands for unconventional S-wave superconductivity. No, somewhere. Anyway, superconductivity, and I have it somewhere, guys. Anyway, where is it? I got so many windows open. I mean, it's absolutely kind of insane because I was up to that. And all these. Oh, man. Anyway, guys, oh, yeah, unconventional S-wave superconductivity in FESETE. All right. That's where I was. I'm sorry about that, guys. The superconducting state is characterized by a pairing of electrons with a superconducting gap on the Fermi, Fermi surface. In iron-based superconductors, an unconventional pairing state has been argued for theoretically. We used scanning tunneling microscopy on FESETE single crystals to image the quasi-particle scattering interference patterns in the superconducting state. So that apparently got hit or used as a calculation, as part of a calculation, all right? Which would get you through that, except we found out that all these translations, guys, if you take these translations, THEREISHE because of TA. All right, so let me go back and say HA translated to there is in Portuguese, wherever that may be. Right here. So there is translated, or for HA translated to there is in Portuguese. TA translated to HE in Chinese. And TE translated to TEA in Spanish. And if you take those letters, THEREISHETEA,
you have a whole new set of codes.
Just like a quantum computer would do, it encoded a whole new set of codes. Is it random? Let's find out. Here's our good friend T, AT&T. Here's our good friend HE, Hawaiian Electric. And here's our good friend E, the mathematical constant.
As well as the first two were companies on the stock market.
Yeah, well, that's New York Stock Exchange. Let's see. New York Stock Exchange, New York Stock Exchange, mathematical constant. Random. Okay, so from there, If you keep going, you've got H, which is artificial intelligence, as we found out. We'll provide the link if anybody missed it. HE. Now we're into the periodic table of elements because I see HE, helium, followed by RE, which we've seen before, guys.
Rhenium.
Rhenium, yes. So now, and then later on, I already took HE and I put it, so you had helium, helium, rhenium, helium. All right. Helium, rhenium, helium, and that is right here. Wherever, helium, rhenium, helium. All periodic table of elements, guys. Random. Yeah. And I took TH back from the top and got the TH gene because we've seen it before. And that kind of factors back up here with all these World Health Organization things from up here. Then you had IS translates directly to this in Hindi, which gives me another thing to decode. But I didn't do it here, guys. I'm going to make this a two-part thing, all right? So, is translates directly to this in Hindi. All right, you understand? T is our good friend AT&T on the New York Stock Exchange. EA, as we found out, is EA Engineering, Science, and Tech Incorporated. All right. And now I was going to do this backwards, and I'm going to, but then I wanted to demonstrate that just in that alone, we ended up with THISTEA. And you've got another set of codes within the same code. It's a quantum computer. And as my fiance pointed out, this TE could repeat to infinity. Of course it could.
Infinite realities.
Infinite realities,
infinite
quantum computer making infinite calculations. Now, while it could repeat this to infinity, it could do any other number of calculations at the same time while it's doing that because it's a quantum computer, you see. So, anyway, we're going to let this video go at that. Now, our internet's being real bad today. It's bad. Right? And we'll upload this as best we can. We'll attach the other part to it. But guys, this is becoming constant through all these. They're targeting the same sorts of things so far. And now we're finding there's codes layered within the codes, just in the letters. We haven't even got into the numbers yet. So this is turning into a project. And I'll continue decoding this. I'll decode backwards these other letters and see if we get any more direct translations. And then if need be, then I'll translate the next set of letters and see what we get out of those. Because honestly, guys, that's what's going on. We're not getting them all. We can't get them all, as it got pointed out to me last night by my mom. I mean, there's no way I could get them all without a quantum computer. And even then, you'd be making infinite calculations. And you can't get infinite. But you don't need every piece of the puzzle to put a puzzle partly together. You don't even need the picture that you're looking at. You just need a bunch of pieces, right? And you can separate the colors, of those pieces, which we're doing. We're separating the colors of the pieces.
Yep, and figure out how they fit together.
Which we are attempting to do. You can get a good idea of what your puzzle should look like eventually. So that's going to be it for now, guys. We're going to let this video go at that because we want to keep it under 20 minutes, and we will have a part 2 if anybody's interested on how the rest of this decoding of this song goes. Again, this is just heard it through the grapevine. Should have been simple. Complicated because you're dealing with quantum computers, guys. So for now, thanks for all your thumbs up, thumbs down. Thanks for all your comments, feedback, subscriptions. And Thanks for all your help in this, and for now, you guys have a great rest of your day.